Man, I miss VJ Edgecombe. I'm not gonna lie to you. I miss him. I really miss him. Texas Tech's defense, though, second half. Jesus Christ, bro. That was like
actually,
the devil. Holy
actually,
shit.
McMillan, my goodness, he was pulling up from anywhere.
Bruh. Texas Tech might really be the real deal. You weren't lying.
Oh,
you're usually right, but man, this is like that's a home run hit right there. You've been right about them the whole time.
But Chance McMillan and Toppin, if they're both on, that they're so tough to beat. Yeah, I would take them against any team in the country if both of those guys are on.
I'm not mad at it. They're legit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Okay, welcome back to another episode of College Hoops RX. It is your boy SosaPicks, joined by my compadre Spin Doc Sports on this beautiful Wednesday, February the 5th. It is 9 a.m. It is early. Happy that you guys were able to join us. What is the deal, Spin? How we feeling today?
Feeling good. It's about 400,000 degrees below zero here in Minnesota, so I'm dreaming of warmer climates. But I always know, even before I open the door, when I let my dog out and into the yard in the morning, if he's scratching at the door to go out, that means that it's okay. And when I go to open the door and he just kind of sits there and just looks at me like, fuck you. Like, yeah, right. That's how I know. So no, but in actuality, it's 8 degrees here, negative wind chill. It's another January in Minnesota and another year where I ask myself, why do I keep living in this dumb state? But no, we'll go through the plays and the stuff from yesterday. There was actually kind of a lot that happened in college basketball, but I'm feeling good today. How about you?
I mean, I'm great, bro. I'm great. I can't complain. The NBA did me well yesterday. Got on a couple of streams, got on live with Mr. Dreamy, my guy Dream. He always has great NBA content. So got on that yesterday. Obviously streamed with Prop for a bit. And then, did some live bet stuff for the NBA. So, it was a good Tuesday. I can't complain. The week's moving by slow because it seems like the harder you work, the slower the week goes.
Yeah. It seems like it should be later than Wednesday. It does. It seems like it should be a lot later than Wednesday, but
so is it just me? Or is there like no real hype for the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl seems very, very hypeless. Or am I tripping?
Well, I mean, there's tickets are going for way under face value too. So yeah, it's kind of weird because you do have, right? I think two of the more marketable teams in the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm just like,
I don't ever remember this being the case when Brady and the Pats were in their dominant run, but I don't know.
Kind of crazy though, right? Like I'm like,
it is.
Feels like it's weird. Feels like a quiet Super Bowl. I'm not hearing any hype.
No. The only thing I got to say about that is, okay, yeah, it's funny, every now and then with the memes and whatever to KC and the refs, but like those fucking goofs that were asking like Mahomes and Kelsey about like, which ref is your favorite that you pay off? Ha ha ha. Look at me. Here's my thought on that. Fuck you all. And here's why. I'm not even a Chiefs fan because you're sitting there and it's Super Bowl media day and people are asking serious questions about the game. And yeah, on Super Bowl media day, people ask some goofy stuff about like what's your favorite cookie and like what kind of tree would you be and like just dumb stuff like that. Right. But you know why you're doing that. You are trying to be the main character and you're trying to say, oh, look at me. I'm so clever. I'm being so edgy, like my content. Go fuck yourself if that was you. You should have your journalist pass revoked. It's the most annoying shit in the world. So rant Absolutely. Over, but it is the most annoying. Even if the NFL was literally rigging the game to help the Chiefs win, which I think is absolutely stupid, and you're dumb if you believe it. And again, not a Chiefs fan. You can see the logo behind me. Man, it's Super Bowl media day, and the only reason why you asked that question is so you can be edgy for content, to get your subs up, to get your clout up. So you suck if that's you. And if whoever that is happens to see this, I'll tell you to your face, you suck. Don't do that dumb shit, because it's not funny. It's repetitive. It's stupid. All right, rant over.
All right. So yeah, I'm glad you got that out. You know, a lot of people who aren't familiar with your football acumen, they know you just because of the college basketball. I'm glad you brought that up. You know, a lot of people don't know how great you are when it comes to the NFL, or your knowledge of the NFL sometimes, because they get caught up with the baseball and college basketball. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad you were able to get that off, to be totally honest. I don't have nothing negative to say about either team. I obviously live in the city of Philadelphia, and you know, I got family, friends that are big fans, and that's who I'll be hoping ends the evil empire on Sunday. But that's not what the people came here for today. Obviously, they came for the college hoops plays. I'm going to get right into what I put out yesterday. I put out Houston's first half team total. That was relatively easy. They started slow, but they got there. They scored 39 in the first half, so that was a win. And I did take the L on the Baylor spread. I did mention that, you know, it's a very, very tough spot in the event that VJ didn't play. They just wouldn't have enough scoring. He did not play, and in the second half, they were in absolute hell. So that's what happens when you go against Spin's teams, man. Texas Tech.
Darling.
You were not lying. You were not lying about Texas Tech. Like I said, I'm not going to say I'm a doubter at times, but I get it. I thought the coach and the point guard were good enough. And that Texas Tech team, they shoot it from three. They defend the fuck out of all 100 feet of the floor. They are legit. So shout out to them, just taking care of business. I gotta respect it.
Yeah. Free plays for me after the 2-0 sweep on Monday, 1-2. Houston. Here's what I'll say about them is, you know, it was a little disappointing from the standpoint of, you thought that after the loss, after the way that they lost, that they would kind of come back loaded for bear, ready to just pounce and just, you know, take somebody out. And they had what I call a good enough game. And what I mean by that is they played good enough where the outcome of the game was never in doubt. Even though Oklahoma State was up like 16-9 or something like that, Houston was never losing that game ever. But they did what good teams sometimes do, and is that they played good enough to win. And good enough to win where they didn't really have to exert a ton of energy, but they also didn't exert a ton of energy. The basket had the lid on it to begin with, and they just had a lot of possessions where they went iso ball and just went one-on-one. Kelvin Sampson looked a little frustrated on the bench. I got to be honest, if I'm walking out of that gym as both coaches, I'm a lot happier as Oklahoma State's coach, even in the 8-point loss, than I am as Kelvin Sampson with an 8-point win, or 9 or whatever it ended up being. I'm a lot happier if I'm the Oklahoma State coach, because those kids played hard. They played hard all game, and Houston just kind of turned it up when they needed to. And that's fine against an opponent like Oklahoma State, but you do that against a good Big 12 opponent, or you do that in a tournament game and you fuck around, you find out. So we'll see if they can get back to normal dominating ways coming up on Saturday. I think is their next game. But elsewhere in action, I guess the LaSalle spread was big for a reason. Holy Christ, they got smacked. That's just a straight up miss by me. I will 100% take that one on. And then the Charlotte and Wichita under cashed pretty easily. Elsewhere in top 25, injuries are catching up with Kentucky. Certain games
kind of call that relatively easy. Though, if you listen to the show, we made it pretty clear. We made it pretty clear that
injuries caught up with them.
Yeah, they weren't going to Oxford and getting a win last night. And shout out to Beard, had his team ready.
Yep.
No hiccups, belt to ass, all 40 minutes. That's why I keep telling people, don't let them get if they're going when the tournament starts, Ole Miss gonna have something to say. They
Yep.
are going to have something to say in the grand scheme of the national forecast. I promise you.
Yep. Yeah, Andrew Carr only played 23 minutes. And Lamont Butler didn't play at all. So, until those guys are fully ready, Kentucky probably not against the bottom part of the SEC, but against the top part, they're probably going to have more nights like last night. And just one more thing about Texas Tech is, in addition to their defense, the kid, I've liked watching him all year, but Chance McMillan was just throwing flames last night. 5 of 11 from deep, and some of them were like Caitlin Clark threes. I mean, they were way out there, and it was zero hesitation. I love the confidence that he was playing with, especially in the early second half, because Baylor made some defensive adjustments at halftime. They actually went on a 10-0 run to cut it to 3, and then Texas Tech called a timeout, and basically the message was like, wake up, and they woke up. And I remember there were 2 rotations where McMillan was at least 3 steps beyond the arc and caught it, and just zero hesitation, and just swish all of them. I mean, he was absolutely throwing flames. So if he's, and the other impressive thing about Texas Tech last night was JT Toppin only played 21 minutes, only had 8 points and 8 rebounds. So, a below average game for him. They still won by 14, but they have multiple other options to help them. If they get in a tournament game at any point, and Toppin and McMillan are both on offensively, and I say this, I will take them against any team in the country. That includes Duke, that includes Houston, that includes, obviously Houston they beat, but that includes Duke, that includes anyone. I will take this Texas Tech team against. Now, they sometimes can have some offensive lapses. They sometimes have a few cold streaks. So they're not the most consistent offensive team. But again, when you get Toppin and McMillan both on, and then get their defense locked in, man, I love watching this team play. Elsewhere, Marquette and St. John's in VIP, we cashed the under very, very easily on that one. That total kept going up all day, so I was loving it, because with how poorly both teams shoot from deep, and with how little both teams foul, that one was actually, I did not understand the public move on the over on that one. The under cashed by like a mile. Both teams combined were 11 of 41 from beyond the arc, just throwing up bricks all game. And I like Shaka Smart, I do, but look, the man's record from February on, ever since the VCU run, kind of speaks for itself.
Hold on. See, and that's my guy. I'm going to defend them. Big East champs last year.
They were, but in March.
All right.
I want him to succeed. I really do. I want him to succeed. But his record in the tournament, in the NCAA tournament, post VCU run, like, I hope they get it together. I hope they get it together. I really do.
You know what my question is? Have we ever seen somebody go bald then come back and be good again?
He was better bald.
That's a serious question, because it's very weird how the whole Shaka Smart hair thing was crazy.
That was funny. Yeah. And then the other one, even though it was only one top 25 team, it's too bad you can't do it anymore this year, but this is a real stat. Wisconsin kind of handed a pretty comfortable beat down on Indiana, but Indiana has not won in Wisconsin. This is a real stat, because they play every year. They have not won in Wisconsin since 2000. 25 years is the last time. That's like back when like Bob Knight was coaching, is the last time that Indiana won at Wisconsin. So it won't help you anymore this year, but if you can memory hole that one for next season. And then last, one of these plays that I'm going to give tonight is kind of is actually playing off an angle that showed up again last night when you got a team like Michigan State going out west. Yeah, they lost by 2, but it really wasn't that close. They were down by 7 at halftime. And I think the UCLA at one point had an 11-point lead. So, Michigan State made it close, but I mean, Izzo was talking about it, about how now that you have these mega conferences and you have teams on both coasts traveling to each other, it's hard. And it's hard for a college team like that to travel out to the West.
That's a cop out. That's a cop out to me. Hold on. That's a cop out to me, because listen, here's the thing, right? When the teams get to travel east to west, they get to stay out there. They get to let their body clocks adjust, right? And they get the time off. Like Mick Cronin, they asked Mick Cronin about this, okay? Mick Cronin and UCLA had to take back-to-back trips to Jersey and New York. All right? We seen it during football season. I don't want to hear shit from these basketball coaches. I don't want to hear nothing. The football season was the great experiment. The college basketball kids, they knew what was coming. I'm getting tired of that, because it's like, let me have an excuse for tournament time as to why I should be a 12 seed. That's what I'm hearing right now. And I don't like that from these coaches. I think that's garbage. I think that's me personally.
I don't think he was making an excuse about it, though. I think he was just more saying they're asking what kind of impact he would have. Is like, I don't know, because we've never done it before. So, having to live out of a hotel for 2 days, but East Coast teams that have traveled west have struggled. So, regardless if they're making excuses or not, it's still a bettable
West
angle.
West Coast teams that travel east have struggled too. It's
still a bettable angle.
Yeah. So it is. And so I just, what was it? When I asked Cronin about it, was the funniest to me, because he was like, bro, he said, I woke up and looked out my hotel and seen the Statue of Liberty 4 times this year.
Yep.
He's like, I don't feel sorry. He said, I don't feel sorry for them. They shouldn't feel sorry for us. We're out here trying to win. I think like, especially when you lose and you talk about it, it rubs me the wrong way.
No, I get it. I get it.
So that's all.
Anything else from last night?
Nah, we got a little talkative about the NFL, but I don't mind. I love talking about about that. But now we can get into today's slate. First game on the docket: East Tennessee State traveling to VMI, taking on the school that Ben Wallace. Is that where Ben Wallace went? He went to Virginia Union. I'm wrong. That's wrong. He didn't go to VMI. Went to Virginia Union. VMI, 6 p.m. start. You got East Tennessee State laying 7.5 with a total of 143.5. Interesting ball game for small conference basketball. Spin, what are we betting on in this one, and why are we betting on it?
All right, so a SoCon matchup, and if you don't pay attention to mid-majors, this is a team that one of the hottest teams in mid-major basketball right now is the Keydets. That's VMI. Pretty cool nickname on top of it. So they've won 5 of their last 6. They've beaten multiple teams at the top of the conference. Their only loss was to one of the conference leaders, actually, in UNC Greensboro by 3. But they are playing exceptionally well right now. And so for me, 7.5 is just way too many points at home, where they've had some really, really nice games. They put up 91 on Furman, beat them by 9, I think it was. They beat the hell out of Western Carolina, who admittedly isn't very good, but they've had multiple games recently where they've won by a lot. They've grinded out wins. They've had lower scoring games. They've had higher scoring games. They've won in a variety of ways. And so for me, facing an East Tennessee State team who, overall talent-wise is definitely better, but ETSU scraped out a win at home in a game that honestly they probably should have lost against Furman on Sunday. But prior to that, I mean, they were staring losing 3 in a row in the face, and now they got to go to what statistically is the hottest team in the conference. So a couple other reasons why I like VMI to cover this one. First of all, is one of the things that VMI does very well. So they're not very big. They play a lot of zone defense and they play a lot of 5-out spread. And what that allows their guards to do is get over the top, get to the rim, and get to the line. You can see it here with free throws attempted over field goals attempted, 37.5%. That actually gets better at home where they're attempting over 20 free throws a game. They shoot the free throws exceptionally well at 75.9. You can see down here a lot of their starters, 81, 80, 75, 80. I mean, a lot of guys that can knock down free throws. Now, ETSU does play a physical defense, and they do play a defense that likes to kind of lunge and gamble and get out for turnovers. You can see it here by their forced turnover percentage, 76 in the country at 19.3. So when you play a physical defense like that, teams that spread you out and can go and use a big up top, which VMI actually has two, and Cadulas here, not only, I mean, he's only 6'8", but he's a big, thick, wide body, is you can get guys on your hip and get to the line. So I give VMI's coaching staff a lot of credit because they know that their team overall, like offensively, they have a couple guys that can shoot, but as you can see, 227, 256 for shooting, not like flamethrowers from a shooting perspective, but their spread over the top offense gets to the line a lot. And ETSU on the road allowing over 20 free throws a game. So if you're going to give me essentially 20 free chances for points here for a team that shoots close to 76%, and then you're going to give me an ETSU team where overall they're okay shooting the ball. You can see 194th with effective field goal percentage, but overall, that actually has been really, really poor over the last 3 games, only at 45.4%, which would rank sub 300, almost sub 350 in college basketball. So they're not shooting the ball exceptionally well right now. They've failed to put up, they failed to put up more than 72 points in each of their last 3 games. So if you're going to give me a struggling offense or struggling shooting offense, plus a team that is prone to a good amount of fouls, then you're gonna have to do a little bit better than that to cover 7.5. So free play for this one is VMI plus 7.5 or 6.5. It's in multiple places, both books.
All right. You already know we're on to my play. And I only have one play for the people today. Obviously 1-1 yesterday. Not amazing, not trash, not anything. We're going to Mizzou at Tennessee. Tennessee laying 8.5, over under 135.5. We usually fade Rick Barnes, but Rick Barnes is in a super winnable spot. He's facing a Mizzou team that does not perform the same on the road. Their defense on the road is not the same. Their offense on the road is not the same. My play in this one is going to be the Tennessee Volunteers first half team total over 34.5 points. It is at plus 100 on FanDuel. Again, Mizzou defensively on the road, completely different team. They're coming off an L. They're going to face another team that's more talented than them, that is looking at them as a team that they have to run through in order to maintain their status in the conference title race, etc., all that good shit. I like Tennessee in the first half to come out and roll. 34.5 at plus money. I got to take it. It just makes too much sense.
Sweet. Real quick before we move on, just shout out to the chat. We had the war yesterday with Io and Mo, which Io got the upper hand on that.
That's
one.
Logan. That's my boy. Yeah, Logan. That's my boy Logan.
Yeah. Mr. Cover, what up? Thanks for joining. Michigan plus SMU parlay. Yeah, Oregon is struggling bad right now. Oregon's in bad shape right now. I was on ETSU against Furman. I thought, lucky cover. It was. They should have lost. Mo's in the house.
Mo's not hiding. He's not hiding.
Yep. Trying to rob FanDuel, aren't we all? I totally get it. So thank you to everybody for joining. Thank you to everybody for being here. Let's go on to the next one. Another small conference game for me.
Yes, sir. We got was that South Alabama
Coastal.
taking on Coastal. I know everybody loves Coastal. 7 p.m. start. You got South Alabama laying 5.5. That is usually the purgatory line that makes you want to go on the other side, but we'll let you talk about what we're betting on. Over under of 127.5. Again, one of those lower numbers or lower end numbers for a college basketball game. What are you liking in this one?
Oh, it's low for a reason, and I'm going underneath that. You have both teams that can struggle shooting the ball. So South Alabama sub 280 in 3-point offense. Their overall 3-point offense recently has been even worse, and their 3-point offense on the road has been even worse than that. So for effective field goal percentage, 43.1% over their last 3 games. That would actually be dead last in almost dead last in college basketball, under 47.5% on the road. You have a South Alabama team that is also only shooting 21.6% from beyond the arc in their last 3 games against 3 defenses that aren't that great at defending the 3. And that would be last by a comfortable mile in college basketball. They also shoot it very, very poorly on the road at under 30%. So you have the South Alabama side covered, especially when you have Coastal Carolina, which by the way, one of the coolest nicknames in college basketball, the Chancelloteers. Love that nickname. I love their colors. I love their whole, I actually like their whole scheme. But Coastal Carolina defense, top 75 in 3-point defense, top 100 in effective field goal percentage defense. So you give me that, and I think we got the South Alabama side covered. You go over to Coastal Carolina. They don't shoot the ball very well either. They only shot 32% from deep in their last 3. They're average middle of the pack for overall shooting. And the other thing is, even though South Alabama doesn't foul a whole lot, Coastal Carolina does a good job at home getting to the line, over 20 free throws a game, but they don't make them. 69.1% and 69% for South Alabama. So you have both teams that are middle of the pack for pace. You have both teams that are or can struggle shooting the ball, and neither team shoots free throws very well. This total is low for a reason. It's already gone down a half a point or a point, depending on what your book is. I think it might even go down further. So under 127.5 would be the official free play.
You said first team to 50 wins the game.
It could be 60 for sure. I'll do it
for sure.
Last one.
On to the last game. We got Wake Forest traveling west to take on Stanford. 11 p.m. start. Stanford laying 1.5. Basically a pick 'em with an over-under of 139.5. What are we betting on, and why are we betting on it tonight in the Wake Forest at Stanford Cardinal basketball game, sir?
I'm playing the angle that's worked so far. Teams traveling east to west or west to east the first half. So Stanford, first half, -0.5. If you want a little extra security, the money line is like -125, -130. I'm not even sure it'll be necessary there, but basically, Stanford to win the first half is the official one. Besides the fact that you have this east to west thing, you also have a Stanford team that hasn't lost at home all year, I believe. I know they haven't lost in conference all year, and actually no, they lost once. They lost to Cal. They lost to Cal Poly at home. This is also a revenge game for Stanford. Wake Forest beat them on January 15th by 13 at Wake, and actually so you got another one. East Coast West Coast going to East. Now you got East coming to West. But in that game, you had Maxine Renaud only got 11 shots. And when he only takes that few of shots, for those that don't know who he is, 7'1", 250, Frenchman averaging 20.4 and 12 rebounds per game. All-around kid, great passer, very intelligent basketball player. They've actually been working since that point to get him a lot more looks, and he's averaged close to 18 shots a game since that time. So if you're going to give him the ball that much, really, while Wake has one big man, again, a traditional big, not necessarily like rangy and has lateral movement, lateral quickness. you have an advantage for Stanford. So I'm going to play the combination of that plus the fact that Wake Forest, not only are they sub 340, shooting the three at under 30%, they're also even worse on the road. So Wake Forest, 28.5% on the road. They have very, very few guys that can knock down jump shots. So it seemed that Stanford has learned their lesson about only giving Renaud that many opportunities. You get them, again, flying across the country, which has worked for many, many East Coast teams coming in to Maples Pavilion. And I will take Stanford for -0.5, or basically Stanford to win the first half in that one.
All right. So there it is, a 4-pack of plays for the people, one team total and 3 other plays from Spin Doc Sports. We're going to actually cut shorts of those and have the plays out circulating a little bit more on the internet today. Yep. And get things a little bit more free flowing in regards to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up, repost it on Twitter and all that good stuff. Your support helps us grow. For anybody that tuned in today, appreciate you all. Let's get to some money tonight, man. It's early morning. We get the good plays out early so that you guys can get paid later on. So again, repost the video, like it, all that good stuff, and appreciate everybody for tuning in. Spin, give us the benediction before we get up out of here.
Let's do it. Let's get it, man. Good luck, everybody.
Peace.